Okay.
All right. That's fine.
So I'm legit just gonna fast forward through all of that and be like, pretend none of this happened. God damn, how embarrassing. So we had the mic muted.
At least we didn't miss the opera itself.
That would have been horrifying.
Yeah.
So, recap, what we're doing right now is just grinding so we can get our espers to have magic items. Or magic... We want Locke to have cure.
Yes.
Once Locke has cure, we're going to take a separate session to do the opera scene so that you can go right to the opera scene. And I'm going to isolate that as a YouTube video, so if you want to do that, you can just... Opera scene, bam! Because it's apparently the best thing in the Final Fantasy VI. I can't wait.
It's the best thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
Just to clarify.
Yeah. I was flapping my gums about how much I love Final Fantasy VI's system. Like, I thought that Final Fantasy VI... God, this is weird, re-saying the things I already said.
It's alright.
But whatever. Final Fantasy VII, I thought, was the first game to let you, like, anyone can cast any spells. But I didn't know about 6, and you said 5.
Mm-hmm. It has the job system.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just checking to see how close he is.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, 45%. Alright.
Sweet. Yeah, I like that idea of, like, the character is the character. They're defined by what they do and who they are, versus, like, when I played Final Fantasy X originally, it was like, I'm Lulu, I'm obviously the Black Mage, and that's all I can do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking before about how the Final Fantasy X remake lets you do anything. So you can have Wakka be the Black Mage, which is sweet, because new starting zone with the Sphere Grid.
Mm-hmm.
Saying the same things I just said over again is really weird.
You know, it's interesting because, like, in Final Fantasy IV, you are stuck with whatever that character is. And Final Fantasy IX goes back to that same thing. You have certain job types. Like, you only have so many white mages and black mages and all that sort of. You're somewhat limited. But you know, that's its own kind of interesting thing, I think, especially when it's character relevant that those limitations exist. I think that's especially true, and it becomes part of the narrative in Final Fantasy IV. You get a character who I love, Rydia, and Rydia starts off as a child, and she can use white magic, black magic, and she's your summoner.
What?
Yeah, she is really intense.
So Hyper Yuna.
She's amazing. And then she later specializes. She initially, in the storyline, there's a part where they need to get through a frozen mountain pass, and she's the only person who can use black magic to cast fire on it and melt the ice so they can get through. But at the beginning of the game, her mother was killed in a fire that destroyed a lot of their village, and so she's terrified to use fire. It's a spell that you cannot unlock for her until this moment in the game. And another character in the party sort of helps her through this process, and then she gains a fire ability. But then later she ends up specializing, loses the white magic option, and is just your black mage and summoner, which is really interesting.
Cool. I always love when there is a reason for you to gain a new ability or whatever as you play the game narratively.
Mm-hmm.
I was never a huge fan of, like, oh, you killed enough dudes, now you go from casting a fireball to making the earth open up. Why did that happen? It doesn't matter. You leveled up, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
One of my friends, when I play D&D, that's one of the biggest cases. It's like, oh, I leveled up, I gained new abilities. Let me show you these new abilities as I play, rather than, like, where did you learn this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And one of my friends is playing as a bard, and one of his other party members is a warlock, and like he can learn some warlock abilities or some more generic things, and there's other casters in the party, like NPCs and stuff, and basically anytime there is a moment where a spell is cast that wows him as a player or his character, he will mark it down and be like, when I level, I'm gonna learn that spell because I'm gonna specifically ask that person, how did you do this?
Oh, very interesting. I like that.
Yeah, like there was one instance where the character, my friend Mike's character, the warlock, he came into this church, and these guards were preventing him from entering, and he's like, I need You need an army to enter, is what the guard said. And he goes, okay. And he, for flavor, he stabbed himself in the hand to draw blood to perform the ritual, but he used that to summon, like, this... Oh!
Yeah, I hate when those guys do that.
Yup. Using up our resources.
And now Locke won't have learned it because he was dead.
So he, like, stabbed his hand, summoned this big, like, ape demon thing that just wrecked everything.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately, my friend who did that whole special leveling spell thing was like, how did you do this? I need to do this. And they spent, like, a good 10 minutes out of game having a role-playing session talking about, like, what is needed to cast the spell, whereas the book just says how to cast a spell. Level 2, do this, blow a spell slot.
Yeah.
They got really into it, and that made the game way more interesting.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
I like when people own those sorts of things. They make the world more real.
Yeah. Like when a certain character in a party has a fetish that somebody decides to explore and have them question who they are as a character.
I mean, has that happened in a D&D session that you and I have been a part of?
Maybe.
Hey, Denny.
Hey, Danny, how's it going? We're talking about you again. I'm gonna name these episodes the Denny Chronicles, just because it's us talking about you.
It's really creepy.
Yeah, it is.
The actual worst friend.
Yeah. Watch this video get a million views. A majillion views. That's where I was going. Like Magellan, but views.
Is that views that are navigating uncharted waters?
Yes. Forget a Googleplex. I want a majillion.
Is that more views than Gangnam Style? Yeah, Locke learned Cure. Cool. Woo! Okay, now watch me get in one more fight on the way down there.
Yep. Oh, we're back to things.
Alright, so I'm gonna take out this sucker, because I'm nervous that he's gonna throw rocks at me and everyone will die.
That is a good. That is a good. That is a good.
That is a good. Chainsaw!
I love that sometimes he spins around, sometimes he puts on the Jason mask.
So when he puts on the Jason mask and goes just at it, that's, he's insta-killing.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That makes sense.
The animation
Jason's
is different.
Horrifying.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. We got this.
Alright, so
Save
let's...
time.
Yep. Let's
Okay.
have a save and a pause.
We're gonna do...
Actually, hold on. Let's, for the sake of things, let's just stay... Let's stay at the inn and get some items before we start new recording, because those are boring things.
Yeah.
We'll do those things.
The boring episode that's slightly about Denny.
Wow, that's... Life imitates art.
Yeah.
Give me your Phoenix Downs!
He's just got a phoenix in the back, like in a chicken coop, and he's just pulling the feathers off of him.
I don't know if we needed armor, but that's what I'm buying now.
Well, come here, little chicken dude.
Probably. Nobody gonna hurt you. We probably... Oh, we're good. We got 10 tents. We're fine. 10 tents.
10 tents. That's intense. So everyone could have their own tent 1.5 times, or
okay. All right.
could
Here's...
have 10 tents.
I'm not even... That's the relic shop. Where's the... There's the inn. Alright, I'm gonna stay in here. I'm not gonna talk to anybody else. So we'll talk to other people in a minute.
I don't care about all you people.
Yes, I'll stay in your fancy hotel.
They're so fancy.
Look,
nice
there's wine on that table.
Oh,
Drink
and
it.
4 beds in 1 room for an inn. That seems... I don't know. It's weird.
Let's melt together.
Oh, man.
Quality gaming. Alright, now we can go outside, save, and start a new session.
For reals, though, we gonna save. And for those of you who are like me and like to multiple save state saves, to be sure that you're saving so you don't lose your data, because oh my god, there you go. Opera time.